Hello, this is Andrew Raso. This is my presentation for the disease of hepatitis B. A Bible verse that I decided to use this time was from Proverbs 4:20 through 22. It is, "My son, pay attention to what I say. Turn your ear to my words. Do not let them out of your sight. Keep them within your heart, for they are life to those who find them, and health to one's whole body." It's just in my eyes, just to protect yourself and to be aware of your surroundings and what you might get into. Because if you aren't observant of what's happening around you, you may miss some things. And so that's just a thing that I personally liked about the verse and worked at as a whole. Some signs and symptoms of the disease include the incubation being 2 to 5 months, where you could slowly develop one of these four things, which is cirrhosis, which is the scarring of a liver, and then later on leading to liver damage or liver failure because the immune system is pretty much going to be compromised because the liver is the one making sure things are in all check. And so, as a result of scarring of the liver or damage of the liver, you'll get very yellow urine, meaning like stuff. There'll be a lot of nutrients and what is it called? Electrolytes in your urine because of the liver not being able to um, filter stuff as well. And then you'll have extreme weakness or tiredness. This is just because of the lack of just immunity you have. And so, like, if you are just like overall tired because your body's trying to fight against it and trying to save the liver from scarring or damage as a whole. And then you could get jaundice, which is basically just yellowing of your pupils or like the white around your eyes, as well as the skin all over the body. And then the causation or causative agent is hepatitis B virus, which is the HBV. It is also double-stranded DNA genome. It is part of the Hepatinervidae family. It's made up of hepatitis B surface antigen, the hepatitis B core antigen, and the hepatitis B E antigen. And so you can see the different parts over here on our right of just the under a microscope, which shows like the actual virus itself inside a one of like I think this is blood if I remember correctly. And then down here is just the actual like virus, and so it like breaks it down, showing you the surface, the core, different layers that it has, the DNA. Super good. And then the next section is uh, pathogenesis, which basically just shows the process of which an HPV enters and exits your cell. So it first starts out from either like the sharing of like something like needles or sexual contact, and then it leads into um, bloodstream and things like that, and then leads into what is it called? The liver. So from the blood to the liver, and then viral DNA enters the liver cell, and then it uses the cell to make more of the virus and then releases it. And to our right just has a cool breakdown of the entire thing. It just infects the liver cell, goes into uncoding, like a process goes through each individual like process. Um, I didn't know if I should go further in depth, but that's just a summarized version of it just going, copying, uh, copying its DNA, replicating its DNA, all this stuff, and then eventually you get out of the cell. And has a new one being formed. The next section is epidemiology, basically how you can get infected by the virus. I mean, that's what I would see it as. It is saliva, the different versions or the ways that it can enter really is saliva, blood, unprotected sex, semen, and the sharing of items. This is like needles, which I talked about earlier. And so, like a lot of the times, the saliva, um, semen, and needles are the main three because of it just being the most prevalent in those three items, and then it could travel through blood and everything else. So, like if it's like a blood transfusion, things like that. So, I would just be careful if it ever came to that. And then treatment and prevention. There is the hepatitis B vaccine. That's why it's like important for infants all the way to adulthood if vaccines are needed. But most of the time, it's suggested in newborns so that they don't have to worry about it pretty much for their rest of their life. And then you can have protective sex, use condoms, other things like that that are beneficial. And then don't share personal items. Pretty self-explanatory. Literally just don't do it. It's not that smart when it comes to like if you're using it for injection needles for like let's just say diabetes, don't share that needle. It's very straightforward. And then travel concerns. If there's like H or hepatitis B in a country that you're traveling to, it's very prevalent. Being aware and being like um, informed of that situation is beneficial for the prevention of yourself as well as others. If you're the one if you're the one spreading it or other people, take that into your own hands. Make sure to use discernment in that, especially with nowadays, people just do everything in their power just to travel and not really care about other people. And the last thing is like informing others, which I just talked about. It's just important that as followers of Christ that we should inform those who need to know and so that they cannot or they can ultimately be safe themselves, but also prevent others from getting sick from this virus and just have a healthier population as a whole. And I think that would be important as Christians to share that with other people. And then these are all of my references.